It's still on the front page of GoFundMe. It's up to 789,000. It kind of hit a pause. I guess they're hoping to get a big boost today. Let's see here. Yeah, they've gotten here in the last couple of hours. Lindsay, you there?
Hold on.
She's up there. She'll chime in when she gets ready, I guess. Let's go. Let's search this. Right, I'm gonna mute Lindsay until she gets her audio situation figured out there. But I'm looking at the GoFundMe here. It's done maybe $1,000 today. Let's see here.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you got me turned up. Okay, there you go. There you go. Can you hear? I can hear me through you until she gets her audio situation figured out there. I'm looking at. All right, so not sure what's going on there. She got a button push. She's at the radio station, and the board can be a little complicated at times.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but did you have the remote, the commercial knob pushed up?
Yes, and I had you playing on my phone. I was hearing you on my phone and not the computer.
Got it. All right. Well, we got Lindsay Beckham here with us. Lindsay, apparently this thing went nuclear viral. We got Officer Tatum even played part of it since I've gone live, I guess, according to somebody in the comments. Had about 7,000 people watching on YouTube. So we got a pretty big audience, which is wild because it doesn't reflect that in the number on the top of Restream. But hey, whatever. We'll take it, right?
Yeah. I missed it. Catch me up. What did he say in the press conference?
Okay, so I didn't know maybe you were Lindsay. I forgot you were even on. I just jumped in and jumped right on the same when it started. Oh, just the typical lies, the black for a living stuff, and everybody's a victim, and they ain't worried about being sued and all that. And they got mad at reporters for even asking about it. So,
of course they did. Of course they did.
Yeah, so it's just your typical nonsense. And they had some of the other black families up there. They don't have nothing. They just want Mama Wells said she just wants the truth. No, that's not what she wants now. She wants her truth.
Now, Clay, if she wanted the truth, she would have called back some of these moms who have reached out to her asking to talk to her, saying, hey, we need to talk. Someone who might actually have the answers that she's been looking for. But she don't want to talk to those people. She would rather fly all over the country and get on news stations and talk about how an injustice has happened here in the state of Mississippi. It's just false.
Yeah, no, she only wants the truth that fits her narrative. She's not gonna want the truth when they find out that he drowned accidentally,
right?
Or that if what Officer Tatum revealed the other night, if this potential drug thing ends up being true, they're not going to want that truth. And look, no parent wants to hear that either, right? No parent wants to find out their kid died of any kind of potential drug overdose. But I'm sitting here as a parent running this through my head right now. And Lindsay, you had a sister die of an extremely violent homicide,
right?
Would it have hurt less or more if you found out it was just a drug overdose? I say just a drug overdose, but a drug overdose.
I mean, I would have rather it been a drug overdose than to have thought that she was violently killed the way that she was. And that's been the thing, Clay. I can't understand for the life of me why so many people seem to want this to have been some sort of murder or altercation, because to me, that's worse. I feel like that would be worse on me as a mom.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I would think the same thing. I think a drug overdose would be less painful. And this is going to sound disturbing, but they went out doing what they enjoy doing. But then as a parent, you feel kind of like a bit of a failure that your kid died doing a drug overdose. That would be hard to accept. But then as a victim of a homicide, I would feel like something was taken from me more so, like that. And I hope to never have that feeling. But I don't know why the Wells and especially these crazy people in the comments here who are demanding us be shut down and shut up and shut down at all costs. And there's
Go
some of
ahead
these
and
crazy
die.
comments.
I mean, the fact that you and I are getting death threats over this just for speaking about it. Can you imagine being Ashley Cole or one of the boys and the threats that they're getting? It's mind-boggling, Clay.
It is. I mean, all these people want him to have been murdered.
Insane. That to me, that just makes no sense. I can't understand it unless you're grifting, unless you see an opportunity. And I have tried so hard to have grace for this mom because she's living the unthinkable. But at the same time, I can't understand, why do you call a civil rights attorney if you suspect foul play?
Ye-
Ooh, it's a grift.
Yeah, it's something. It's something crazy. It's something evil. I've compared it to Mama Wells selling her soul to the devil, like Robert Johnson, the famous blues artist from Mississippi at the crossroads, who sold his soul to Satan there at the crossroads of Highway 61, and forget the other one that it crosses with, but he sold his soul for fame and fortune. And that feels like what she did. And I know we're not talking about real Satan here. I'm comparing Ben Crump to Satan, but it feels like she
Close
sold
enough. Close enough.
for social, to become a social justice icon, to become the next Mammy Till. And again, while you were on the air, I asked Grok, how many times has Ben Crump compared a dead black boy or a dead black person to Emmett Till? And I think we came up with 18, give or take. It actually gave me a list here of different times Ben Crump has compared dead black clients to Emmett Till. And all of them, as far as I can tell, as far as I remember, all of them were lies or FAFO victims, not victims, but champions.
And it's not even just Crump at this point anymore. I don't know if you saw the clip of Congressman Jackson, but we have congressmen being asked about this and just regurgitating this false narrative that comparing this to Emmett Till and even things I had never even heard before, like his body was moved to an alternate location. And I don't even know where this is coming from, but when it gets widespread nationally and making our state and our communities look as though we're something we're not, I think it's our job to speak out about it.
I mean, using their energy, shame on you if you don't. You should speak out. If you feel like there's an injustice, I mean, I think these boys down there on the coast, this is a modern day Salem witch trial. What's going on? It's digital lynching. What's going on to these boys? They're the Emmett Till in this situation. What's being done to them unfairly, especially if we find out that he just drowned or somebody else killed him after they left. And Lindsay, I'm not 100% in the camp that maybe somebody didn't kill Nolan Wells. It just wasn't these boys that are catching the grief. I'm not convinced that somebody else didn't do it after they left. They didn't do it. It's just, there ain't a nickel's worth of evidence. All these people refuse to acknowledge that phone call to the CETO was doctored, even though the girl came out and admitted she did it, basically.
And is now making money off of that, by the way. Like the GoFundMe was shut down, I guess, and then the Give Send Go got
put up. Yep.
The fact that people can make money off of lies like that is just so disturbing.
Yeah, the culture has decided that everything is okay. Every atrocity is acceptable and justifiable if it's in the name of fighting racism. If they got to create some evidence, doctor some evidence, intimidate some witnesses, whatever they got to do to prove their point, they're willing. It's all acceptable for the culture to get what it wants. If that, like I said, if they need to believe that video's AI and doctored up, great. If they need to push the lie that was Nolan in the swimming pool and that picture was taken later that night, 4th of July weekend, let's go along with it. They've just sold their souls to just going along with whatever, all in the name of being able to keep pushing the racist agenda forward. And it's sickening. I just don't know. I don't know how we come back from this as a society when there's such little trust between these two races that have to live so close to one another as well. It's really disturbing. It's going to take some real leadership on both sides, and not the not the race baiters. It's going to take some people like me, and then somebody from the other side to come together and agree to stomp this out, because I don't know how we move forward otherwise. The trust is completely gone.
No, and the fact that it destroys communities, in a community like Ocean Springs, which is so diverse. And again, these boys were friends, and I can't imagine living there and having to witness your community be so incredibly hurt and divided by these narratives.
Yeah.
It's very sad, incredibly sad.
Yeah, I'm pulling up. I'm tired of seeing one particular person post the same thing over and over in the group. I'm going to the Facebook to do a quick little block here.
How about Roy?
Exactly. It's just annoying. Yes, Roy, shut me down by all means. By all means. I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to shut me down from your news feed. Here you go, Roy. You're blocked.
Have fun at the block party.
Yeah, and not because of what you said being offensive or anything. It's just you're annoying. You're spam. All right, there we go. Roy, by any means necessary, you no longer have to see anything I say. Again, it's so easy. I mean, like somebody said, Clay, you need a moderator. I said, I got one. There. Moderator.
Yeah, Terrence, you're right. The phone will tell, but what I want to know is when the phone tells that these boys didn't do anything or delete anything out of the phone, are all of you people who have claimed that he did going to come back and say, we're sorry that we falsely accused you? Because I'm willing to bet you won't.
No, they won't. They're never going to come back and apologize. Some of them will delete. Some of them will delete the videos or whatever, and they'll just pretend it never happened. But here's the thing: if they made money on it, and this as a content creator on Facebook, you can't delete the video and still get paid for it until after you've been paid for it. So anything you post in July, you can't delete until after you've been paid in August. So August 22nd is when Facebook money comes. So you won't be able to delete these videos. Your lie is going to have to stay up there. And trust me, the attorneys, they are scouring the internet. They have teams of different attorneys.
Yeah.
All these boys ain't represented by, I don't think any two of them are represented by the same person.
And there's more signing on to this every single day. I mean, yesterday, what's her name was served yesterday over in Louisiana, and I've been watching her stuff. She's awful anyway.
Yeah, I'm hoping Secret Service Sam gets his, just on a personal note. Just the guy's annoying. So yeah, I can't say who, but I was just spent an hour on the phone before I got on this live with one of the family's attorneys, and not Russ Latino. I mean, I like Russ. I plan on speaking to Russ here later, but I'm just saying, and it wasn't Russ. So I'm talking to one of the other kids' attorneys, and there's going to be stuff done about this. These people are going to pay, or if at minimum, they're going to spend a lot of time in court defending themselves and paying attorneys to defend them. So, that's the other thing. Everybody's like, oh, they can't sue me for this. They can't sue me for that. No, they can sue you for anything, and you got to fight it. So
the word allegedly is not going to save you.
No, allegedly, and people say. So, Lindsay, I got to thinking about it. I was saying it on the show this morning as I was kind of rethinking it all. Man, all that stuff, the Loon Squad members from North Mississippi and the umpire stripe fools, all the lies they know they made up about me over the last year and put out there with their allegedlys. I don't have the patience or frankly the money to pay an attorney just to go sue somebody, because an attorney is not going to go just sue somebody that doesn't have anything to get unless you're paying them a contingency fee.
You can't get blood from a turnip.
Right. So unless you're just paying them whatever they tell you, all right, well, I'll do it for 20 grand. Okay. Well, you're probably just losing 20 grand if you go try to sue any of those people that I'm talking about. Now, if I got 20 stacks just sitting back and I want to do it for sport, great. And unfortunately, for some of these people on the internet, these people on the coast, some of them got money. And that's exactly what they're fixing to do, is sue y'all for sport.
Yeah.
And just for principle, because you've lied, you've knowingly lied and participated in a digital lynching, a digital witch trial.
And Clay, not only that, but those guys that have slandered, that little group that has slandered you, I mean, they already have a list of court cases coming up where they're going to have to attempt to defend themselves. So,
And I'll be reporting on all those, and I'll probably be in the courtroom for at least one of them. So my and their beef ain't nowhere near done. I'm just going to go enjoy sitting back and watching them have to defend themselves. So that ain't over, I can assure you. But it's just, again, I care less about them. I don't need them to get famous. They needed me to try to build a platform. You know, here I lost my 90,000 follower platform, and it hasn't made a lick of difference the way the algorithm works. Yeah, sure, I lost 70,000 followers compared to what I have, but I ain't lost any views, ain't lost any money. It's crazy. It really is.
When I heard that, I was shocked. I remember you were at the barber getting your hair cut when your first one got shut down, 3 years ago? And
Yep.
I text you, I was like, I can't find I'm trying to send you something. I can't find your page. And so the fact they did it to you again after you have built it up that big, blows my mind.
Yeah, I was at 50,000 then. You know, I lost a TikTok at almost 100,000. I've lost over 250,000 followers in deleted accounts across the board, which I'm back to at least that number. I was sitting at 103 on TikTok and 20 here and 662 or 3 on, it doesn't matter. The followers don't matter no more. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather have 1 million followers than not have 1 million followers, but you don't have to have that the way the algorithm works now. So.
And, that's so true. And one thing I want to say, the people that continue to say, can y'all talk about anything else? Or you're the ones who are race baiting now. It's wild that I see anybody saying that, because this is what y'all obviously want us to talk about. My numbers I've never had many interactions and views. People want to hear this. It's polarizing, and that's what algorithms throw out to you.
That is true. Look, I mean, I've said it multiple times. I would love to talk about something different. There's just not anything. We discuss local and statewide for the most part. We get into some national stuff or big stories. I try not to do too much national, but like Carmelo Anthony, for example, his trial, that was a national story with a very personal vibe to it, as far as like stuff that interests people in my audience, whether you're pulling for Carmelo to get away with murder or you're pulling for Carmelo to go to jail for murder. Either way, it was polarizing. Everybody kind of had a take on it. And it's like watching the Dallas Cowboys, for example. Everybody, you either love them or you hate them, regardless of who your team is. So that's why they're such a big draw. There's a lot of people watching to win and more people watching to see them lose. And you get big cases like that, like this one here. This ain't even a case yet, but you get big stories like this one where everybody is pulling for one outcome or another. So
Clay, obviously, I heard the DA say that if it's not a natural death or a car accident, everything goes to a grand jury. So if this goes to a grand jury, how would they indict? Who would they indict?
Well, they will have to figure out who they think did it, So, I mean, it can be a homicide. It can be unsolved. I mean, cold case. So it could turn into a cold case if there's no evidence to prove these boys did it. Again, if they according to TMZ and ABC News, there's multiple witnesses that put Nolan Wells on the island alive and intoxicated, but alive after the boat left. Then there's photos of the boat being towed without Nolan Wells on it.
So nobody was screaming, "Wake up, Nolan, is he dead?"
That's all fabricated.
Ridiculous.
And then I think there's a line in there, can we cover it up? That part's not fabricated, but clearly they're talking about
the hole in the boat.
Listening to a bunch of people talk about lake life and boat life that have never been on a boat, the only boat they've ever been on is the one their ancestors came in over here on. Tell me about boats is nauseating.
I know they have no idea. They have no idea, and obviously they've never lived around here where people go out to a lake or an island like this. Rarely do people come back on the same boat they go out on. Eh, You just you interact with people, you have a good time, you socialize, you drink, and then who knows, you get back somehow. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to these types of parties.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm doing a little blocking over here. I'm listening to you though. Yeah, and then the sudden black bro code of
No man left behind.
man left behind. You have to leave with who you came with. Like, man, y'all, when did that become a thing? Because having owned a majority black nightclub for 10 years, I can tell you plenty of times bros got left behind, or bros left with hoes and didn't stick around. It's just comical to think that we're supposed to believe none of y'all have ever met a girl while you were out with your boys and went home with them and not the other. It's asinine. They're just looking for an excuse, but none of their stories work out. I thought he got left on the island. Now y'all are convinced he was on the boat. I mean, which one was it? He was in a pool. I mean, is there anything y'all hadn't believed that you've been told?
It's something new every single day. I don't know if you
Well, the
read.
only thing they hadn't believed. The only thing they hadn't believed is that he drowned. The most logical thing is he said, "I'm not getting on a." I'm going to give the boy credit here. He said, "I don't want to get on a sinking boat."
Yeah.
And I got a girl here. That's a double win for me.
I'm gonna stay here.
I'm gonna stay here. Boat not sinking. Girl here. Win, chicken, winner, chicken dinner. Unfortunately, it's like how a little peck in a little rock, the old analogy, you can drop a pebble in the ocean and it starts into a ripple, turns into a wave, and it turns into a tsunami. That's what happened here. A pebble got dropped into the ocean and it started a ripple effect, a butterfly effect, whatever the hell you want to call it. And it just created one little incident after another that led to him dying. Kind of, and I'm not trying to make a funny here or nothing, but like the movie The Hangover, where they recap what happened and how they ended up asleep on the roof at the beginning of the movie, like what the hell happened for us to end up here,
Right.
That's kind of how he ended up dead, is an array of events unfolded, one little bitty thing, but just multiplied, death by 1,000 paper cuts. I'm just trying to give people an analogies they understand here. The third grade reading level folks here in the comments can understand. The people that just missed the Mississippi Miracle and just aren't ever going to understand.
But and it's tragic. It's absolutely tragic, but it doesn't make somebody a murderer.
It doesn't. It does not make him a murderer. And the whole thing about, well, he's a football player. He can swim. Ben Crump brought that up about one of the other victims that was on stage. He said, this guy's a high school swimmer, and we're supposed to believe that he drowned in a lake? Yeah. And they wasn't, again, I'm talking about a different kid that's died here recently while out swimming with his white friends. But I guess they deleted some text or something. They ended up getting charged with messing with evidence or some sort instead of murder. Like, I think people do a lot of freaky things when they think they're going to get in trouble for something they didn't do. I think it makes, like, panic makes people do a lot of stupid stuff. And I would love to know, and Lindsay, maybe you can answer this question. We've heard this constant thing from out of the Nolan truthers, and his parents included. That's my new name for these people, the Nolan truthers. They're like 9/11 truthers. And they keep insisting that messages were deleted, texts were deleted, Snapchats were deleted. Well, Lindsay, I've had a cell phone going back to the 90s, to the early 90s. Show my age here a little bit. I mean, I had a bag phone, not even a bag. I had a base phone, like with a big base.
I had the first Nokia with the snake game, but that was my first one.
I mean, I've had that. I'm just saying, but I go all the way back to 92, having a cell phone when I first got my driver's license, and I had to put the big phone behind the back seat of my mini truck because it was just a regular cab with a bench seat, I put the phone back there with the cord kind of coming up through the middle of the seat. And I have text message. I remember the first time I ever got a text message on the very Nokia you speak of. And I don't remember ever being able to go back here and say, look at recently deleted text. Like, how do they know there were texts deleted?
They don't. That's the whole thing. They don't. And it's going to be really easy to prove that that didn't happen because Celebrite phone extractions show every single time a phone has been interacted with, whether it was picked up or attempted to be turned off or attempted to put a code in to get into it. And so all that's going to come back to show that these boys didn't delete anything.
Yeah. And then there wasn't any snaps. I don't keep meaning to just disagree with everything these people say for the sake of it. Like, I would almost like to find something that we could commonly agree on, or I wasn't so easily able to debunk their theories. But like the Snapchat thing, the phone stuff. Well, there's no, you mean to tell me, and I heard his mom say, my son always has his phone in his hand when he's at home. You can't peel him apart from his phone. I'm not supposed to believe he was out there having all those good times and wasn't documenting it and didn't have his phone.
In the water. And in
the water.
And that was proven by the tow call, cutting out every other word. She couldn't even understand. I mean, he had to give the coordinates several times. That was proven.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
I want to respond to something here real quick. These are my favorite. These comments like this and this attitude of this, like, anytime you say these people, those people, y'all people, this reaction from people like we're somehow not allowed to lump a group of people together. We're back doing that. I just want, what's your name? Moya. We're allowed to lump you together. When it's group think, when you think as one, hive mind, when you act like a hive mind, I'm going to refer to you as one. So when I say y'all, those people, them people, these people,
if the shoe fits.
Yeah, like if you think we're talking about black people, we're talking about black people. It doesn't matter. I'm lumping you all together on this. If you all think, everybody that thinks the same way and is pushing this narrative is y'all people, those people, these people. So we're clearing that up. Not walking that one back at all. If that's what you think we're saying, then that's what we're saying. So just wanted to put that out there real quick.
I mean, and Clay, I'll be the first to say, I haven't always, some of the things you've said in the past, like the whole culture ride, I'm kind of, shy away from because I don't want to lump everybody together. But I'll tell you, and I sent you the video from this experience I had the other night, which, by the way, is right there at the edge of Hinds County, where these people are not. Nobody messes with them, even though they are terrorizing people. But these three black guys on motorcycles without lights on kind of blocked me in, trying to scare me. I mean, a mask on, looking at. I mean, it's like that is the culture in this area, and you're crazy if you aren't a little bit more cautious when you're in a place where people like that are where they habitat. It's just a fact around here. And the whole crazy thing is Ocean Springs is a lot different than that.
Yeah, no, look, you don't have to do anything but go watch the news or follow one of these news channels on social media, have their app downloaded, and you get a constant notification of murder here, murder there, breaking news this, breaking news that, crime here, crime there, shooting here, shooting there. And it's the same people 90% of the time. It's probably not enough, probably 95% of the time. It's black people. And that's not racist to acknowledge that, because if it was white people, that would be shoved down our throats constantly, like anything that they can try to imagine. I mean, I know we're all pedophiles. We get it. We all are school shooters. We get it. Even though the facts don't back that up.
We don't identify with the trans mafia either. They're the crazy. They're as crazy as y'all are.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is somehow or another they think that all white people are lumped together. Like, no, we hate those people too. Like, I'm not supporting school shooters. I don't think school shooting is a white or black issue. I think that's an issue. Like, black people do a different kind of shooting at school. There's more people shot at school by black people every year, period. Just, quote unquote gang violence or whatever. that you can go do your own independent research there. More people get shot at school every year by black people, period. Now, more of the quote unquote, what you call mass shootings at schools, those happen by white people. But the caveat is those are y'all's political compadres, not ours. That's the LGBTQ wing of y'all's party.
What's her name?
Doing that.
What's the one in
rainbow supremacy?
What's the one ICE shot?
Oh, the girl up in Minneapolis.
Good.
Renee Good.
Yeah, that's not our people.
We don't claim those, and that's always been a big part of my problem when I talk about culture rot. Is black people who don't partake in the crime defend the ones that do. Like here we are, and like good God-fearing like black folks that get up and go to work every day and mind their own business and ain't committing crimes. Still, a lot of them are sitting here buying Ben Crump's bullshit and going along with it and defending. And I'm not talking about Nolan Wells, the person. Nolan Wells is an anomaly in all of this as far as his character compared to the usual people that Ben Crump is representing, or the families of the people that he's representing. Nolan is an anomaly, but the family decided to sell his legacy out to try to make some money. That's all this is, to try to never have to pay for a meal again type thing, to be the next Mamie Till or whomever.
Well, I sent you that story about this 19-year-old in Kentucky, Marley, who same situation just happened a week and a half earlier. And they searched for her body for 5 days, finally washed ashore. Beautiful white girl. Her family obviously didn't go hire a civil rights attorney who has made this national news, but it wouldn't make national news because it's a white girl who was out on a boat with white people. And so where does her life not matter as much? It's frustrating.
We got a stupid comment here from Chantal. Says now they don't claim the white shooters. Libs and Dems don't like guns. That's your people.
Those aren't our people.
It's not our people, and that's where you're just stupid and don't understand because you don't read or you can't read. One or the other. Again, you missed the Mississippi Miracle. The last 10 or so mass shootings at these schools have been transgender or LGBTQ shooters going and intentionally looking for and shooting white conservatives' kids or private school children to punish white conservative Christians for not acknowledging them. So if you can't see that, you are not starting this conversation on a foundation of honesty, and you're just another loser who will never, ever amount to shit in life except being a bitter racist that can't read. That's really all I got to say about it. Again, like people have shoved their heads in the sand for so long when it comes to arguing with the culture and just saying, well, I can't deal with it. I don't want to be called a racist. And, we did them wrong. And I'm done with it. I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, I've shied away from it, but this was too much to not speak out about. This is BS. I mean, I'm sorry, but it is. The downright lies that are being pushed, that are destroying a community, a great community. It's so wrong, and I'm not going to be quiet about it. I'm not going to stick my head in the sand anymore. It's not right.
No, and so the attorneys I was talking to earlier, they're representing some of the boys down there. Or representing a boy down there. Excuse me. We had the same conversation, and I said, man, why I finally decided to start calling the crap out is because I realized when I started the Save Jackson page, and I was literally just posting pictures of empty buildings and, kind of going down memory lane and stuff, never made it about race, none of that. When I simply started getting called a racist for talking about the metro being abandoned and all these things, I was like, man, y'all take anything that you consider a criticism at all as racism. And that's because people haven't argued with y'all, or people just bent the knee for far too long, and you've been so pandered to, and people have been over so far trying to make up for the wrongs that other people did, not even us. And now you're in a situation where we're not even allowed to be critical of the mass deaths, of the genocide going on in these urban communities. by each other. Like there is a genocide going on in the black community, but it's not a genocide of racism that y'all claim. It is a self-inflicted genocide going on in your communities. We saved y'all from the abortions that y'all were doing by getting those outlawed, by overturning Roe versus Wade anyway here in Mississippi. You know, that's going to be tens of thousands of black babies that are going to be born now, thanks to us vile racists.
Right.
You know, and but y'all are killing each other probably faster than you can reproduce. I mean, you really are, and it's tragic. It really is. But again, we just want you to quit killing each other. We want you to, you know, whether it's in the womb or in the streets. You know, it's just y'all could be what 30-40% of the population. Hey, you could be the majority population by now if y'all would quit doing that. And we could stop having these conversations, but I guess it's just more money and remain in the minority. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But even, you know, like even if these boys were guilty, let's just say, even if they were, y'all will raise hell and preach and all that about this, but you won't say a word. You won't say a word about the 2 black boys that were killed in Jackson in the last 5 days by a 19-year-old black boy and a 17-year-old black boy. And I got my screen split here and I got them both pulled up on my Facebook page. You know, it's like none of that matters. None of that matters. But we're told to take y'all serious, and we're told that Black Lives Matter. And people are just really tired of the hypocrisy. And then this whole thing pops off here with this, and we know it's a lie. There's not a nickel's worth of evidence. And the only evidence that y'all been able to show us ended up being debunked. And shouldn't even had to have been debunked. It was clearly bullshit or easily debunked, like the picture, the pool picture. Well, there's 10 or 12 other people in that picture. Why don't you just ask one of them?
Exactly. Plus there's the metadata. But Clay, also, even if these boys were guilty, we would still be calling for justice. Like we would still be wanting, we wouldn't be defending, I'll say that. We would not be defending them if they were guilty. That's the difference here.
I mean, we'll never get credit. We never get credit for any time we're on their side on something. And when somebody white is legitimately guilty of doing something to somebody black, we're like, yes, lock them up, whatever. We never get the credit for it. And I don't need credit for it, by the way, but that never gets acknowledged. It's only the times that we disagree that make us, oh, you're vile racist. Oh, well, what about this case? What about that case? What about them? We agreed they should have gone to jail. You know, if it was legitimate, we'll go back to the goon squad. You know, like nobody was defending that. I mean, what do you want us to do? I can't go back and, you know, rail against them any harder than I did. You know, what do you want? You want me just to agree with everything? But they want us to shut up. They don't want us to call this out. You go back and you look through these comments. This one of the girls a minute ago said, I think maybe the same one, the Chantal said, basically, if we can't moderate the comments, we shouldn't live stream. Screw you. Don't comment. Don't watch.
That's what I asked Thomas the other day. I said, why do you listen to me? You call in and criticize everything. I said, why do you listen? I want to know what you white people thinking. I want to know what you white people are going to. It's like, it must be a miserable life to just constantly listen to somebody you can't stand or don't agree with at all. I don't do that. I mean, that's not fun for me.
No.
I don't sit around and watch CNN.
Man, it's not us that have ruined all the publicly shared spaces. You know, it's them. I mean, them, not us. I mean, I consider my comment. I'm only streaming on Facebook right now because I wanted to rattle the cage. I wanted to hate because I was talking about something very, very particular that I wanted to talk to the culture about. So that's why I'm streaming on Facebook today. But you can take the comments section, for example, on my post. This was like on the morning show. It was a fun, good comment section. There were people that disagree, sure, but it wasn't just this vile, you know, over sexualized, vulgar hate that they default to because they have such low vocabularies. Well, then this incident happened. Really, it kind of started with the Carmelo Anthony, then Cohen Wiley. Now this has been like this just domino effect of
Cohen Wiley. Who's that? That's been forgotten about.
Oh yeah, I brought that up earlier too. But he clearly saw the video and realized that there ain't nothing there. Either that or a combination of saw the video or realized that Mississippi has that $500,000 tort deal where they can't get but 500 grand no matter what on when you're suing a police department or a state agency or any, county, city, anything like that. It's like, oh, well, shoot, we can only get 500 grand. And it looks like, these girls guilty as hell. So he just let's back on out of the Cohen Wiley. Or maybe it was the mom pee-popping on a handstand, twerking at the funeral. Or maybe the videos of her pretty much doing the same thing at the grave site after.
Throwing up all the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a combination of just absolute dumpster fire, ghetto shit show. So whatever. Again, they're going to jail. And he knows it. And he's like, I'm going to back on out of this one. These girls are getting charges. So
I wonder if we'll see the same thing when toxicology comes out in this one.
Well, either that or they'll go to he was drugged. Like he my baby wouldn't never do this. That's why I was having the conversation with earlier about this, about the toxicology. We ended up going down a rabbit hole, but circle back to it real quick. It's going to be my baby wouldn't do that. He had a big football camp this week and he was trying to be on top of that. He wasn't even going to do no drinking. Yeah, well, you know what? He's an 18-year-old boy that got blinded by the light, and the light being some booty. He got booty blinded. And look, it happens to the absolute best of us. I've left this house plenty of times, not this house, but previous houses before I settled on down. Plenty of times with full intentions of I'm just going to have a beer, hang out a little bit, and I'm going home. I got work tomorrow, or I got a big day. I got a job interview, whatever. And I'll do one shot. I'll just do one. And
life happens, right?
Next thing you know, you're walking out of a strip club at daylight.
No, I've never done that.
I'm just using a strip club as an analogy, like from a Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
They all had a playoff game that night. They had a big game that night, and they all went out the night before, and they walked out of the strip club at daylight with their teacher that was a stripper. But it happens. And I don't care what the toxicology report says about Nolan. I still think he's a great kid.
By all accounts.
And I don't want him to have been murdered, not because the guys are white, but because that's a violent way to die. That's an unfair way to die. And then secondly, because they're white. And I know what that will cause in this state as far as racial tension. It will set it off and it will be a fucking nightmare around here.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
And then of course, people like me who have been so outspoken, will catch the brunt of it. And that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to back down from any of it, whether them boys did it or not. I'll sit here and say I was wrong because I'm not too proud to admit when I'm wrong, but I ain't going to back down. You know what I mean? I still, circling back, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Circling back, we should all hope and pray that the boy just drowned.
I agree.
And if there's any blame to cast, there's a drug dealer to get him, lock him up, throw away the key. If you sell somebody some dope that leads to them dying, I think it should be, honestly, I think if you sell drugs, you should go to jail for a long time. I don't think we need to get soft on drug sales, not hard drugs like non-marijuana and pills, like legitimate designer drugs, cocaine, meth, stuff like that. If you're poisoning your community with that, and I'm telling you, as somebody who did his beyond his fair share back in the day, I mean, I think it's been 16 years since I've done any 14 or 15, 16 years since I've done anything. I don't care. People know I'm very open about it. I always chuckle when people think they've uncovered something about me whenever they find somebody from my past that brings it up. And
I've already put all of that out there before you can come back with it.
Like that's on episode, I've lost count. I've talked about it so many times, so I speak about this from a place of understanding how easy it can happen. I said on the radio show this morning, if fentanyl had been a thing up to about 2011, I sobered up in 2010. I hadn't done anything since 2010. If fentanyl had been a thing before then, I would have absolutely died from fentanyl. But whether it was from a fake pill, a fake ghetto pressed pain pill, or from some powdered amphetamines or whatever, I would have absolutely died because I would have absolutely gotten some fentanyl, some fentanyl cut cocaine. Mm-hmm. But when I was doing drugs, they stepped on it with baby laxative, so that's when you always did coke and had to run and take a poop. Now you die.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. So black people are listening now that know. They're hearing that, oh, God, he knows what he's talking about, you know?
Well, I
So,
just wanna tell Chantel, thanks for saying that I seem intelligent, but promise you I'm not being manipulated by anyone. I live here, I see it on a day-to-day basis, and I don't believe Clay ever said that you were something and could never amount to anything, a POS that could never amount to anything. I didn't hear him say that about you, so I'm confused where you got that from.
yeah, I said something to the extent of if you refuse to believe facts and I have to argue certain things with you, then you're a piece of crap. It's never going to amount to anything. I probably said something to that extent, but if you choose to accept that you're not going to believe things and that make you an idiot, then that's on you. I didn't just say that you were an idiot and not going to amount to anything. There was a caveat in there. If you choose to not believe things that are right in front of you, you are an idiot that's not going to amount to anything. They can't pass a third grade reading test. Yes. So the caveat there. So if you've taken upon yourself to say, yep, I'm not going to believe this. Well, then that's on you.
If the shoe fits, if the shoe fits.
Yeah. I mean, if the shoe fits. So let's see here. Got to run through some of these comments real quick. I'm sure they're all a dumpster fire, but I got some things I need to do. Yeah, Hannah says the Coke shits. Yeah, Hashan, I'm sorry, said the Coke shit. That's a thing. That is a thing.
I never went down that road, thank goodness.
You know, man, why are these things so small? They have gotten smaller. These chats. Anyway, Rowdy says booty blinded. Booty blind is a thing. That is definitely a thing.
Alcohol helps with that, I think.
I mean, look, one thing about a booty is you're either born with it or you ain't. You know, let's see here. Raccoon must be very close to the code. Okay, I'm kind of out of the mix on that. Double bourbon diplomacy, which is my co-host Crescent, says he is telling the truth. I am absolutely telling the truth. It says you must be 21 to purchase beer in Mississippi. Well, yes, that's true, but people have friends that'll buy them stuff.
Our parents, from what I hear.
Wait, so I guess Chantel called me a Jim Crow. Somebody said Clay isn't old enough to be one of the Jim Crow era men. You know, and that right there, the Jim Crow stuff, I couldn't even tell you. All I know about Jim Crow is that black people love to talk about it. I guess that was segregation era stuff. As far as that goes, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but I'm just being historically accurate. Black people in America seem to have it, at least black people in the South seem to have it a lot better when they were segregated. And I've heard way too many black people say that black people were better off when they were segregated. At least the black community was, because they were forced to do business with each other and support each other and get each other's backs. And, something happened, man. Something happened. Their communities got invaded by foreigners. It's like all the things that conservatives fight to try to prevent are the things that honestly negatively affect black communities worse than they negatively affect conservative communities. But blacks will sit there and be Operation Human Shield for every dumbass policy Democrats want to push that affect their communities worse.
Absolutely. And look, case in point right here, Clay, you know what I'm about to say, because this is where we disagree completely. For the person who thinks Clay controls me, we disagree completely when it comes to school choice, but this is something that would help that community. It would be
100%.
such a good thing for them, and they fight against it because it's part of Trump's agenda. And because the Democrat caucus tells you, oh, we don't want that. And so therefore they're against it, even though it would benefit you greatly.
And the main reason I'm against it is because it will benefit them. And I don't mean that to sound bad, but I think that you should have to waller in the shit you create. And they've created shit in Jackson. If it wasn't for Jackson, I wouldn't care about school choice. Honestly, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't fight it a bit. I'd probably be on your side. But I'm just not going to sit there and what the people of Jackson, and I've been very honest about this. I don't think the people of Jackson deserve good schools. That will get to come or get. Let me rephrase that. They don't deserve to get to send their kids to our schools over here when they have destroyed their city. They have destroyed their school system. You need to figure it out. You fix your schools. But yeah, 100% school choice would benefit black folks way more way more than it would benefit anybody else. It would benefit poor black people from Jackson more than it would benefit anybody else in this state, 100-1. But because the Democrats tell y'all, no, that's a Trump thing. You don't want it. It was bad. Oh, Trump said it's bad. Your property values would go up. Your kids would get better education. It would force the schools to compete more, but y'all don't want it.
They're blinded. They're blinded by hate. They're blinded by hate.
And again, and I don't think
we're the racist, and we're the racist ones.
Yeah, I think I don't think you deserve it because I think you continue to vote freaking idiots in like Chokwe Lumumba, Benny Thompson, and all of them. You know, you get what you vote for. Elections have consequences, to quote Barack Hussein Obama. Lindsay, enjoyed it. Thank you for jumping on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for letting me hop on with you. I missed the press conference. So I was trying to catch up, and I actually didn't talk about Nolan Wells today. I talked about something completely different, but I guess I had to hear what was happening. I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah,
FOMO's real.
I do want to acknowledge one text here, or whatever you want to call it. Like Adrian says, you guys are extremely ignorant. Why are you watching? I mean, I've seen multiple comments over the last hour from you. Why do you watch if we're ignorant? Like, why are you participating if we're ignorant? You would be the ignorant one wasting your time participating in something that's ignorant. Like I've got low. Now I get paid to do it. So I have to watch the stuff I disagree with, like the press conference earlier. Like, it's my job. I host a show. Yeah. I'm a content creator. Maybe you are, Adrian. Maybe you make reaction videos to this stuff. And if you do, okay, I get it. It makes perfect sense. But if you don't, what are you doing with yourself? I love it when I don't have a show the next day. I don't watch podcasts or reaction videos or get on X. I find something on Netflix for 4 or 5 episodes that I can binge watch. I watch wrestling. I find a movie. I don't do this. This is work. Right.
I know, to sit around and just watch something that you completely disagree with and listen to people that
you think are ignorant
before, that you think are ignorant. It must be a sad life.
It must be. It must be. All right, Lindsay. Maybe if news breaks, maybe we'll break back with it. But until then, I will see y'all tomorrow morning on the show right here, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We're not streaming on Facebook. We're only on YouTube and the other platforms because I just can't handle the ignorance on Facebook, and I don't need the views anyway. I don't do everything for clicks and views. So
not everything. You can catch me at 12 to 1.
All right, be good. Peace.
Right, thanks, Clay.
Mm-hmm.